The Maroon White Pod brought to you by citylink. For bookings, timetables, updates and any other information, head to citylink.ie. We're continuing our All-Ireland build-up. We have a podcast every day this week to get fans in the mood for the All-Ireland final this week ahead of Galway and Armagh. And we have a very special guest now on the line, Hector Ó hEochagáin, and Hector obviously from the famous Tommy, Hector and Larita podcast as well. Hector, before we get into it, you had the privilege of being in Croke Park on Sunday.
How you doing, Paul? Can I start to shout out to all the Maroon and White posse? I tell you, many years ago, I met a girl in Donegal and I asked her to dance, and it was a Clare set, and the rest is history. I danced the Clare set that went on for about 45 minutes, and she spoke Irish. She played traditional music. She was from a strong hurling parish called Dura-Bearfield, and that's the girl called Tipton, and that's the girl I married. So I married into the parish of Dura-Bearfield, made famous by James O'Connor's brother, Christy, in the legendary GA book, The Club, about a year in the life of a senior hurling team and a parish, and probably one of the best GA books ever written. So that's the parish I married into. And on the other side of that, I married into the Kilfenora Cayley band. The drummer, Sean Griffin, is my brother-in-law. The concertina player, Timmy Collins, is my brother-in-law. The accordion player in the Kilfenora, Claire Griffin, is my sister-in-law. So not only have I married into Dura-Bearfield, the Kilfenora Cayley band, but I'm married into Clare hurling, and we had to be there on Sunday. We had to be there in Croke Park for one of the greatest games I've ever seen. I thought the semi-final between Cork and Limerick was good, but this lived up to it. It had everything. It was an amazing match, amazing extra time, amazing atmosphere. Incredible. Can I curse on this podcast?
Of course you can. Fire ahead.
Listen, it was fucking incredible to be there, man. The colour between the two sets of fans. It was electric. Paul, they played Metallica about 20 minutes before the teams came out. About 15 minutes before they played Metallica. And I think it was, I can't remember the tune, but it just set the tone. And I tweeted at the time, Metallica setting the tone here for this battle between these two warring tribes. And man, it was, I don't know, just what else can you say about it? What else can you say about it? It was one of the best All-Ireland finals in decades.
I recovered from it because I can imagine when you're at a match like that, it just takes so much kind of energy nearly out of you.
I was there, I drove, and I drove up and down, and it was just it was 1:30 or 1:45 before I even went to bed, and I didn't touch a drop of alcohol on Sunday. But after watching the Sunday game, you get hyped again on everything. And there was the whole way down in the car, we're talking to family that were from Crusheen. They're all living in Crusheen now in Dura-Bearfield. All the nephews and all the young lads that in the family that are hurling with Crusheen, and they live and they eat and sleep and breathe Crusheen and Bearfield, and then to be up there at the final, like, what? Where are you? I'm in Kinnegad. Where are you? I've just gone past Kinnegad. Where are you? I'm at Kilbeggan. Where are you? We're stopping in at Lone for food, and we went the whole way to Ardmore to Giovanni's and it was like, it was quality. At about 9:45, I was getting a fresh cod and chips and a snack box in Giovanni's in Ardmore, and we were home after it, and it's those are the things, and all the Clare registrations going down. And again, this is the whole thing about Sunday, the amount of West of Ireland, Galway people that are heading up on that journey, on that motorway, and from all over the country and from all over the world on Sunday to Croke Park. And we're doing it again in 6 days' time. So it's amazing. The elation, you could feel the joy out of each car as you passed all these Clare registrations go down, man. It's just amazing.
Yeah, just no one seems to care really. Once that result happens, no one really cares how long it's going to take them to get home. Because I suppose when you come home from Croke Park with a defeat, it's not a nice feeling. But when you come home with the silverware, it's that bit better. Just before we do touch on to the Galway, because we could not touch on them, but it's kind of what you're hoping for this weekend. Tony Kelly's performance was absolutely magical at the weekend, and you're kind of hoping that Damien Comer or Shane Walsh can do similar this weekend.
I think I texted you during the week or a couple of days ago that I was watching a match of Tony Kelly in Cusack Park, and I think he scored 17 points on the day. I think it was a National League match a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, 17 points. Like, that's the stuff of Cuchulainn. And Tony, like, with that injury that he had, he just wasn't there and wasn't featuring. But if you ever needed a player to come good on the big day, and that's what happened, Clare, because I think it was their best performance of all season. Yeah, they'd lost Munster titles and they'd lost 2 All-Ireland semi-finals, but everything came right. And that's what we were saying during the week about Cork. Could they play 10 out of 10? Because everything went right for them. Every single man performed against Limerick. And then to try and do it again, it's very, very difficult in sport, in any game, when you knock out the favourites. And that's why I think it's interesting that Galway knocked out Dublin and then just had to get over the line in the semi-final, because the mind is knocked Dublin out of the football. And then you have to go and win a semi-final. So I thought they were clinical in that game, just by getting to the final and doing enough what they had to do. But Tony Kelly, I put it up on Instagram that I just seen a magician with a wand in his hand. And that's what we saw. An absolute masterclass. It's just a little touch and then the touch again and then over the keeper. Like, he's just, I'm so happy for him, because there's so many good hurlers out there, but sometimes he goes in under the radar because because of his injury, and maybe he hasn't done it every game, but he's up there now as one of the greatest players to ever take a hurl into his hand, and to lead as a captain. And you're on about like Damien and Shane Walsh, but man, there's so many other players that I feel that can have good games on Sunday that can add to Galway hopefully having their victory. There's so many other things that can happen, and that the weight of the world isn't on Comer or Shane Walsh. That there are other players now compared to 2 or 3 years ago that can do it, and that can do it in the defence, because the team is a different looking team than it was against Kerry 2 years ago. Completely different looking team. And yes, we want Shane Walsh. Like the day against Kerry, he should have been man of the match, because he scored 7 or 8 or 9 majestic points on left and right. But now I think this is a more complete team. And maybe we're going to have a man of the match in a half back line. Maybe we're going to have a man of the match at centre forward. Maybe we're going to have a man of the match at full back. You never know. And that's the beauty with this new Galway team, this new look Galway team. But yes, we want Comer and we want Shane Walsh to have an outstanding game in the big park.
It's interesting you're talking about your love there for Clare hurling. You're a Meath man originally. How has your love from Galway football came about?
My mother was born and bred in Tuam. Tuam is a big part of my childhood, and every summer and every Easter, every Christmas, we'd be loaded into the car and ferried down to Tuam for Easter and Christmas, and then the odd time in the summer. And I know my mother was a proud Galway woman. She's the woman that sent me to the Gaeltacht when I was 8 years of age. She said, "You're going to speak Irish," and because she had heard it, and she spoke a little bit back at the back behind Tuam in a place called Currahan. It's like you can go 2 ways out to where my mother was born. She went to a school in Gardenfield, just outside Tuam, Gardenfield National School. So if you're heading out the Milltown Road, you go out there for about 2 miles, then you take a left, and then you go off into the bog. And so you can see the steeple of Tuam from the area where my mother was born, in a parish or townland called Currahan. And Duddy's of Kilbannon, a famous pub, is about 4 miles over back the road. So that was my childhood. My father, Lord to rest him, used to love drinking in Junie Loftus's in Tuam. And I knew the Guinness was good there, and it still is really good in Junie Loftus's. They have never slackened with the quality of pint. My father used to love getting to Tuam, all the aunties and the uncles and everyone back at the house, and then he'd disappear in the back of a Fiat Ritmo with the other uncles. We'd be all ferried into the Junie Loftus's and the Tatch pub to play pool while they drank pints of stout, and then Duddy's at Kilbannon. So Galway has been strong in my blood, my mother's blood, and I'm living out in the stone walls, only like 7 miles from Tuam in Clare Galway. So, as my mother always said, I'm back to the stone walls. And the minute I failed in Trinity, I moved to the Aran Islands, and I wanted to get back to Galway, and I've been in Galway ever since. And even though I have Meath blood coursing through my veins, I was just talking to Sean Boylan, legendary manager, the other day as well. He gave me a call the other day, and I still love Meath football. I'm still passionate about Meath. But my boys are playing with Clare Galway. Galway flag is on the gate. Clare flag is on the gate. So I have a foot in 3 lovely GAA camps. But next Sunday, it'll be 100% maroon and white.
What have you made so far? Are you feeling the excitement or the hype yet? I know we're still early in the week, but are you feeling it around the place?
I think it'll build. I think after such a big win for a neighbouring county like that, because Clare and Galway, I mean, it's, you know, there's something in the DNA of both of these counties with the music and the culture and the land and the people and its close proximity to us. So I think there was an awful lot of counties shouting for Clare the other day. I think Galway would have been, I think every single Galway person would have been over the moon for Clare winning an All-Ireland hurling title. And I think it's the same because I know from all my relations down in Clare, they're ready for this next week because they're ready to feel that, you know, the county just beside them is going to win it if they win the All-Ireland. I think that the atmosphere will build. I can see people in Clare Galway selling the flags and they're out on the side of the road selling flags and that up at Turlockmore as well. And yeah, I think it'll build by Wednesday onwards. The build up will happen. You know, I mean, we're ready to go again. So yeah, it is exciting. It is exciting. I'm excited for my boys as well because they were on the hill for the semi-final. They were on the hill for the quarter-final. I mean, there's nothing better than when you look up and you see that sea of colour on the hill 16. And these are huge moments for them. And they were on the hill 2 years ago. And fingers crossed we'll come out with a better result this time. And I really think we can do it. And I think Porrick is a team now that can win in All-Ireland. I'm not counting my chickens before they're hatched, but I just think it's a different looking team. It's a different looking setup. There's more people on the bench. There's more structure and more strength to the team this year. And I think Galway, I think, are in a better place. So the build-up, it's a bit of a lull in the house because Clare just winning All-Ireland and the Clare connection, but by Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be ready to go again. And listen, the Galway races, just can you imagine?
Yeah.
If Galway win an All-Ireland on Sunday, every pub in the county is going to be wedged. The atmosphere in each of the parishes around the county. But then the Monday is the Galway races. It could be iconic. The Tuesday, if the team bring the Sam Maguire in on the Tuesday evening, because traditionally the Monday and the Tuesday and the Friday is a local night. That's when Galway people go and let their hair down at the races. Wednesday and Thursdays are big days. It's almost when the influx from the rest of the country come. But like the Monday in Galway is just such a brilliant evening. It's local racing. It's really, really cool. So I can imagine the bonfires will be lighting through the night on Sunday night if we win, and people won't give a shit. They'll be going, are you going racing? Yes, I am. It'll be amazing. It could be amazing.
Just there, you're mentioning Clare Galway. Jack Lynn, 2022, Young Footballer of the Year. 2024, don't think he's getting enough credit for his performances at all this year. I think he's been sensational this year.
I think Jack is the type of player and the type of person when you know him. He's quiet, he's calm, he's collected. He had a bad injury there last year, even for the Clare Galway when we played our quarter final of the senior championship.
Yes, he did actually.
Jack hobbled off after 20 minutes. So Jack had an operation on his ankle early in the maybe around Christmas time, and even around January it wasn't right. And it's getting an injury in your ankle and having an operation on your ankle. I know the cruciate is one thing, but it's that was a big thing for him and getting back to full fitness. I just think Jack loves coming in under the radar. How can you peak? Like he was captain of the Galway under-20s that won the All-Ireland. Am I right?
Yep.
Then he was Young Player of the Year the following year. Like everything happened really quick down in college in UL. I just think Jack is just a part of that really dynamic 6 defenders that we have now. It's a very, very interesting half-back and full-back line. It's young, it's mobile, it's confident, and they really, really move well. And Jack Lynn, he almost his running style is almost like a gazelle. He just has so much energy. Like he'll push on past the halfway, and he'll lead lads around the pitch. So I just think he likes being under the radar and let him perform again. He's been outstanding. He was outstanding against Dublin. And as I said to him, I met him up at the pitch 2 days after the bet Dublin, and I said, did you have a few beers? He said, we did, and we regroup again on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. And I said, listen, it's a lovely thing seeing McCaffrey and these boys being taken off the pitch, and lads being put on him to mark him instead of, and him, lads being substituted because Jack Lynn is doing just such a good job in him. But the 6 boys at the back are really doing a really good job this year. And it's a reason why Galway have that foundation to go forward and get all them scores. So complete. I don't think defenders get enough credit. sometimes. But every score has to come from a hand in or a tackle or a swamping or a steps or something at the back that pushes that ball forward. So for me, if the defenders are doing their job and if the defenders are on top, just like John Conlon and the boys were the other day when they were popping long and high ball in on top of Shane Barrett, that didn't work. If the defenders are doing well, Galway will have a really good platform for winning the All-Ireland.
Did you always kind of know with Jack from a young age?
I met Jack, like, I'm involved with the club here. We moved out here about 15 or 16 years ago to Clare Galway, and no more, 20, 18, 19 years ago. I didn't know Jack as a young lad playing, got to know him when he was playing minor, and then moving in, then everyone got to know Jack when he started playing with the county under 20. And it's just been, again, they're quiet, they're relaxed, they're a great family, and they just get on with it. And everybody at the club wants to be every young lad wants to be the next Jack Lynn. And you know, he's such a role model for everybody up there. And we've had him at medal presentations or minor presentations and stuff, and he never says no or anything like that. And it's the same with Conor Flaha, another magnificent. We're blessed with too many keepers. I mean, we've minor keepers, under 20 keepers, sub-senior keepers. I mean, we're like a goalkeeping academy at the moment in Clare Galway, and we're blessed to have 3 or 4 county quality keepers right through from this year. But like, we're really, really proud of them. We're proud of the 2 boys. Like every club in Galway at the moment, they're very proud of this Galway team and Porrick and where they're going, and that they brought us back to an All-Ireland final. So fingers crossed, there'll be bonfires lighting at the bridge in Clare Galway on Sunday evening.
Please God. Just with that, it's what's so special about Croke Park, I think, when you go to before the game and you're in Jones's Road and you see the colour and everything, but particularly with Galway fans, because you're going to have Galway fans coming back from abroad, a lot of Galway fans who are now based in Dublin. Isn't that just what makes this so special on Sunday?
Yeah, you can see a lot of retro jerseys. They
Yeah.
claim retro jerseys in Croke Park the other day, and I know there was a lot of people heading back to the airport and people who had flown in specially. But that's a West of Ireland thing. That's a Mayo thing. That's a Clare thing. That's a Galway thing. That's a Kerry thing. Of an awful lot of people who had to leave and who have still left. People that are working in New York or Chicago or Boston or Vancouver or Toronto or Sydney or Hong Kong. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just the amount of people that the happiness it brings, and the amount of people that will bust their arses to get into Croke Park on Sunday and make that journey home. And maybe a surprise journey home to a village in Galway on the Friday to see the parents, and then out for a few pints, and then the buzz of getting to All-Ireland, and then maybe flying home on a Ryanair or an Aer Lingus or wherever they're going on a Monday. That's what it's all about. Like, it's very, very special, and there's something there. There's something unique about it. I hosted a few of them All-Ireland finals a couple of years ago down on the pitch, and to be there on All-Ireland final day, and as you look back up, and there's no other stadium in the world at that 82,000 people on that day, on that given day. It's just an incredible sporting event. When it was on in September, it was the biggest sporting event on that day anywhere in the world, and it's just incredible to think what we can do. And now that there's 4 different teams, right, Clare and Cork, that's done. But now you have Armagh and Galway. That's 4 different sets of colour that we haven't seen in Croke Park before. And that orange is going to be fairly, like the Cork, that orange is going to be fairly dominant. So fingers crossed, we'll you know, and when you only get to feel that atmosphere when they start parading behind the Artane Boys band. I mean, that gives me fucking goosebumps.
Yeah.
Swear to God, that's the EBGBs. And when that happens, I just get this surge of pride, and then they start marching, and then it comes round by you, and the wave of shouting and roaring as they come close to you, and then they turn again, and then it's the Nally, and then it's the Davin stand, and then it's the Cusack. But there's no better thing when they turn the corner and head for the hill, and just this colossal roar from the hill. It just, I mean, I've been at Cheltenham, and I've been in Wembley, and I've been at Champions League finals, and I've been at sporting events before, and like, there's no stadium in the world that can do that when those players, I mean, standing out at the Euros. I love the national anthems from different countries. I do love the South African anthem. I've been at All Blacks games and Lions tours, and I mean, the national anthems to me is brilliant, but they're standing there, they're static. When these boys march behind the Artane Boys band and the flags, that's who we are. This is our DNA. This is going back thousands of years. This is going back to the tribes of this country and on this little island in the middle of the Atlantic, and there's 15 tribal soldiers, men from different tribes, going to battle. You know, they'll shake hands and then the rest, that's it. It's game on. So, man, now I'm starting to get there.
You're making me excited now.
You know what I mean? Like behind the Artane Boys band, what goes through your head? I love seeing them. They'll give that bottle of water. They'll hand that bottle of water back because you will be getting dry mouth. You know that your parents are there. You know that the family are there. You know the cousins are there. You know the grandfather's there. You know they're watching. Like, these are great moments for these boys. And listen, how they can compose themselves and take all that in. It's just, but maybe that's what's going to stand to Galway, Paul. Do you know what? Maybe that'll stand to them. That 2 years ago they were there with Clifford and the boys on the other side. Okay, there's no Clifford this year. There's no Kerry this year. We've just got a job to do. And I'm not undermining Armagh, but we've a job to do against another team. Only for David Clifford scoring 8 or 9 the last year. He 8 or 9, he was brilliant, like he normally is. Shane Walsh, I thought, should have got man of the match, but not saying that there's no Clifford you have good players with Armagh up front, but like, it's there. Maybe that experience is going to stand for our men, the lads that were on the pitch. How many of them lads are on the pitch 2 years ago that'll take in the first 15, Paul?
Yeah, there's a fair share of them. I know Johnny McGrath was a non-talking sub in 2022, yes. Which
Johnny Fitzgerald wasn't there.
Yeah, Sean Fitzgerald wasn't there. Glenn would have been there. Yeah.
John Daly was centre back.
John Daly was centre back. That's year Mulcairn did the kneecap.
Ciara Malloy was on wing back. Yeah. But like, you look at that sixth, I'm really buzzing about the 6 boys at the back, and one pair in particular that I'll get to. But I just think that half back line, I know, you know, with Silky and who's the curve in boy on the left, on the
Dylan
right.
McHugh.
Dylan McHugh is playing out of his skin this year. You know, and the way Shawnee Fitzgerald has come into the full back role, which is, you know, when I saw him first with a Mohican 3 or 4 years ago, and he was this athletic young lad with loads of ability, the way he's molded into a proper full back, he knows what to do now, you know. And then Johnny in one corner and Jack in the other. That's a really, really strong half back line as well, and full back line. And then, I mean, Sean Kelly with his injury, who would have thought that Galway would be as strong, if not stronger, without Sean Kelly? With all them. And to me, the man of the season for Galway for the last couple of years is John Maher. John Maher has added steel to this team. He's added physicality, and he's added a dynamic. He's good on the ball. He's good on the hand pass. He's good at 50 minutes. He's good at 60 minutes. And he's a big man to rattle lads around the middle. And that's why I think Maher has been outstanding. I have a good story there. I met him about a year ago or 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, maybe, just before National League this year. And they were stopping in the Apple Green because he, obviously, I think John works in Dublin, like a couple of the other players, and they were being ferried up and down for training on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And I just saw the dedication. I was happy being in the Apple Green, going home at 4 o'clock. They were in the Apple Green getting something to eat on their way to training, and then to be brought back up to Dublin. And I just think John Maher got his chance. You'll know better than me. When did he start getting his regular appearances on the Galway team? Was it the National League this year or the year before?
It was 23 last year, yeah. He would have been in the stands in 22. He wasn't even on the panel at all.
Well, there you go. And there's a lad that's got better and better and better. And to me, he is so vital to the way we perform on Sunday. He's a big man. He can float around the middle. He'll be named at centre forward. And then Killian McDade, who was an automatic All-Star 2 years ago, wasn't he? A midfielder, brilliant All-Ireland final, brilliant player that's coming back from injury again. And to see the way they've been very patient with Killian McDade, getting him back to full fitness, naming him at corner forward. I mean, that has just changed the dynamic of the team. And it's great to see Killian back, because if there's any man for a big score on a big day, he's got a beautiful boot.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was recording with Ray Cadellan earlier. That podcast will be out later in the week. He would have played with Westmeath against Galway and Armagh, but he said when he was marking John Maher against Westmeath, he said in the first half, he said, Jesus, this lad going to stop running. Surely the gas is going to go at some stage. He said, just didn't go.
Yeah, that's what I like about John Maher. I think he's a great engine on him. I don't know the guy, but you know what I saw that day in the Apple Green at 4 o'clock, you know, and this is what the boys have been putting in. This is what the amount of sessions these lads have been doing. And I think John Maher in that team, a big man. We need big men around the middle. and he's one of them, and he's dynamic, and he won't be failing at 55 or 60 minutes, which normally a big man around the middle of the pitch. And it helps Paul Conroy as well. It
Yeah.
helps Paul Conroy in that role, that he needs a little bit of help, because there's no better man than Paul Conroy pushing forward, he's another man with a lovely boot in him. I mean, we've lovely point takers, and points win games. I say to the young boys up there in Clare Galway, it takes 2 scores to beat a point, so pop it over the bar. I mean, hurling has changed unbelievably. Like, what did we see the other day? 38 points against 37, like 320 something against 120 something. Like, I don't know what the scoring will be in this All-Ireland final, but any team that takes their points, if you can just keep knocking them points over, the goals hopefully will come as well, but it's not so much as like in hurling where there's massive scores. I just think if our boys get on, and Finnerty, there's another man with Mayo blood coursing through his veins, but pure Galway. Like, there's another man who could have a great final. I'm excited about the Mahers, the Finnertys, the McDades, and that takes away pressure from Comer and Walsh.
Not to single out a player, but I just think it'd be fantastic to see him win an All-Ireland. Paul Conroy.
Absolutely. Múnchor and just a scoil at Baile Clare Galway must be like the New York, like the Harlem Globetrotters. The Clare Galway secondary school is like the Harlem Globetrotters of teachers, between Comer and Sean Mulcairn is in there now, and Conroy, and they're all in there, and Fabienne or Charlotte Cooney and Fabienne Cooney. There's so many of them in there that are teaching in that school. But Paul Conroy he's a gentleman. He's a Gaeilgeoir, and he's put in an awful shift for Galway under the years, hasn't he?
And even you consider coming back from that leg break, like, it's astonishing.
Double break, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A double
and
break.
He's probably played his best football since that double leg break, which is astonishing.
I watched him, and I know Paul. I saw his Instagram the other day, and he was walking through a forest with his little girl, just off for a little walk, or to a field. I think away from football, he detaches himself. But when he's on song, and that's what you want to see. That everybody of all these footballers have a different life during the week, but and how they lead up to this week is very, very important. And if you have kids in the family, like Paul has, I'm sure that'll be a great sort of distraction to what he's about to do in midfield. But there's a man who deserves an All-Ireland. There's a man who deserves a medal. It'll be brilliant. It could be brilliant. So fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Will you be bringing Tommy along with you to the match on?
Tommy sits up beside Michael D. Like, he has 2 tickets in the Ard Corlia. I think he always.
Okay.
I think he has a ticket beside Michael D, because he said to me, it's Saturday evening, he said, I have another ticket for the hurling if you want. And I said, I'm sorted. So Tommy gets very close to the action up there. And there's another great man that we won't see too many times going out and shaking hands with the teams. There's another great man, a great Galway man with Clare blood. I've never spoken English to Michael D. Higgins in all my life, and I've met him many, many times. We speak Irish and Spanish together. And there's a great man. He's a great man in the GAA, and I do anything for him. And when you see him coming out, it's legendary stuff as well. So I'm sure he'll be delighted to come out on that pitch and shake the hand on Sunday of the Galway men. It'll be, and there won't be, and if Paul, who's captain? Paul Conroy?
No, Sean Kelly's captain if he plays, and then Matthew Tierney will be captain if
he's not on the pitch.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of Irish spoken along the line as Michael D goes through the 15. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. And you know what? We have a good bench this year, don't we, compared to 2 years?
Massively. Like, even Carl Sweeney didn't even come on the last day, which is astonishing to think of. Sean Kelly didn't come on. Daniel O'Flaherty's made a real impact from the bench.
Tom O'Gallaghan came on.
Tom O'Gallaghan, yeah. Like, John Daly came in. There's huge depth there, and even it's pity Keane Hernan's got injured too, because he was really coming back to himself as well. There's definitely a big bench there. Just with the
if you think of that All-Ireland final, Sean who came on, young Spillane came on, didn't he? One of the Kerry Suggs came on and popped 2 points over. About 63 minutes.
Yeah, Killian Spillane, yeah.
They pulled away from us.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not dishing anybody who was on the bench, but we just didn't have that bench. And there's another player as well there. Like, I remember when Sean Mulcairn was fullback on captain of the Galway minor team about 3 or 4 years ago, and he was an outstanding talent. And then there's another injury. There's another man that got really badly injured during Sigerson, wasn't it? Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, broke the kneecap up in Whitehall. They're playing Jordanstown, yeah.
Yeah, and all that controversy of an ambulance not being around or lying on the pitch for 20 minutes after it. Now, I know Sean, and he's a great Inishmore man and a great Ireland Islander, and there's proud traditional football on the Aran Islands. I lived in Inishman for 2 years, so a couple of the boys from Inishman used to play with the Ilan Oran and a few of the Inishere boys. But there's a man that has popped back into the team and is doing a really good job. And I think he starts at the weekend. He'll be starting as a half back. And there's a lad who fought from an injury to get back in the half back line, back into the team. And I think he's wiry, he's tenacious, he's smart on the ball. And even the little things, because we're going to have to be as smart as we can from 60 to 70 minutes, 65 minutes, if there's a point or two in it, how we can hold possession, how we can recycle, and how we can go backwards. And I think they did that against Dublin, and they did it in the semi-final as well. So it's going to be, I don't know, Paul, what, like the score, I don't know what you could say. I don't think there's going to be much in it. I mean, half time, full time, and all that. Like these football matches at the top level now in the football championship, they're very, very tight. There's normally only a point in a half time, and there's very little at a full time. So these boys, the way we can retain possession with dynamic and fit players in the back will be able to hold on to the ball if we're 2 points up with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, sure. We've played them the last 3 years, won 12-15 in the group. Not there's going to be nothing between us. Yeah, it's only there when you mention the bench, like bench against Donegal, Conor Flaherty, John Daly, Owen Kelly, Daniel O'Flaherty, Kieran Malloy, Carl Sweeney, Sean Kelly, Johnny Heaney, Liam O'Neil, Tom O'Glan, Niall Daly. Like,
I take that any day of the week.
yeah.
I take that any day of the week. And look at the way the Clare boys came onto the pitch there in extra time. Look how many of those Clare boys came on and scored, and they got their, they added something to the team. So who knows? Who knows? It could be another extra time. Who knows who's going to be wilting? Who knows what the weather's going to be like? Because it was a hot day in Croke Park last Sunday, but it was a warm day. And again, the minute we left Galway, it was lashing rain here in Clare Galway. We get to the toll bridge and it's bone dry. We get to Athlone and the sun comes out, and we get to Dublin and everyone's going around in t-shirts. I mean, it's like it's two different ecosystems, from the ecosystem of Galway to the ecosystem of Croke Park. Croke Park was absolutely beautiful. It was 20 degrees plus. So hopefully we'll get a good dry day. For good football. And I think the open spaces for our boys and Damien Comer, man, could it be his best performance of the season? Can Shane Walsh come and give us another masterclass with the left solo, the right solo, the left hop, the right hop? Because there's no footballer in this country that can buy space and take space off a defender by his movement left and right. And can it be another great day for him? If he pops over 7 or 8 points, that's what we want. But we want the rest of them who now have the confidence that it's not all about these lads. Just everyone get out and do their job. And I think that's the difference with this Galway team. I just think they're in a better place mentally, physically, and we've a stronger bench than we've ever had before, and squads win All-Ireland.
Are we going to do it, Hector?
I think so. I'm confident because Clare won. And listen, we're dreaming of it here because we're dreaming of this house. I'm dreaming of a couple of creamy pints in the Summerfield on Sunday night. Oh my word. I just have that image of pubs all over the county. From Carlistran and Kilcairn and Clonbur and out in Littermore and Littermullen and everywhere, all these footballing strongholds, and Moycullen and Montbellew and Monivea and all these footballing strongholds, and every parish. I love the idea of the pub staying open and people coming down there as that epicenter of a celebration, and that there's a tradition in this parish of Clare Galway where we win a minor or we win an under 16 or whatever we win, that we walk over the bridge and the bonfires are burning. I saw that when the All-Ireland, the boys won the minor 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, the same year we were going for a minor double 22 because the boys beat Mayo in Roscommon in an epic battle, the All-Ireland minors, and there was Éanna Monaghan and Jack Lonigan, all these boys co-captains here in Clare Galway. But on the journey back from Roscommon that evening, the amount of, once you hit the far side, once you come over the border, the amount of people out with bales of straw and bonfires lighting all the way back into Montbellew as people came back from the All-Ireland minor victory. I just think it's a great tradition. I think you're going to see smoke all over the country. It'll be like, it'll be like St. John's night all over again. And let's do it. Listen, it'll be unbelievable. It'll be unbelievable for Clare and Galway to crown the All-Ireland hurling and football titles. It would just, I don't want to get too carried away, but I just think we're in a better place than we were even 2 years ago. What do you think?
I think as supporters, we need to get carried away as we can. It's not every year an All Ireland comes around. Let's roll with it. That's what I'm thinking. And I just think I had him on the podcast numerous times, and I think it would be an unbelievable way to honour the legend that was John O'Mahony.
Yeah, yeah, what a great man. And I saw the V formation there in the semi-final, and
Yeah.
that was a lovely tribute. And that was an absolute beautiful thing for the lads to do, to salute that man who gave so much for football and brought so much joy to Galway, and just a good GA man. And that's what the GA is. I was talking about Sean Boylan there earlier on. There's a man, and when Sean Boylan rings me, I'll ring him back within 20 seconds. If I miss his call, I'll ring Sean Boylan back within 10 seconds, and he'll say to me, Hector, I need you to do something for me. And I'll say, yes, what do you need, Sean? Because these are gentlemen. When you meet somebody genuine, GAA, giants of the game, and who are great people, they have a karma and an aura about them. And you know that they're good people. I mean, I met Mikey Sheehy at a function years ago at a golf classic with Bernard Flynn and Michael Duignan and all these boys. There was loads of legends playing golf. Mikey Sheehy was at the bar, and Mikey Sheehy asked me, could he get a photograph for his kids or for his teenagers at the time? I said, what? I said, Mikey, you can do anything you fucking want. I'm just honored to shake your fucking hand. I swear to God, you don't understand how much I respect you and how good a football you were. And it's an honor to meet you. And can I shake your hand? And can I get a photo with you? Because this is what the GA is, man. I mean, we can rub shoulders with these people the day after an All-Ireland final. We can meet these people on the streets of Galway or anywhere around the county. This is the difference of it. We can, this is the difference of our game with other, and legends are normal people, and they live in our parishes, and parishes produce legends. And hopefully on Sunday, the parishes of this county will produce legends that will go down into history, and they'll bring so much joy to grannies and granddads and bachelors and farmers who have been up the side laneways that haven't come down to the local pub because they're worried about having a pint and driving home. And I hope that this brings the county a level of ecstasy and enjoyment that it should. I mean, when we win an All-Ireland and when a county wins an All-Ireland, it is the most special thing that can happen to the community in that county. And when it's all said and done, the Clare boys are happier now because they're back in Fecal. And where will they go on the piss today? They might go to a pub in Ennistimon, or they could go to a pub in Corofin. You don't know where they're going to go, but imagine the Clare boys arriving into a pub in the middle of nowhere in Clare today to have a few drinks. Imagine the buzz in that community. And that's what it's about. Community, parish, and the teams that they produce on a county level. So Jesus Christ almighty. And the Galway races on the Monday after, man, could be legendary. Jesus Christ. It's a good time. Maybe for once, having an All-Ireland in July is a good thing. But I'm not a fan of it. But I could be a fan of it on Sunday night, knowing that I'm taking the rest of the week off and I'm going racing Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, you're getting me excited now thinking of this. Could be like 5 bank holidays next week.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know the way we get excited when you know you have a bank holiday? This could be a double bank holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should come out on Galway Bay Radio, on Galway Bay FM going, today is an unofficial bank holiday, and Tuesday, we've just been told by Galway County Council, is another official bank holiday, so nobody back to work till the Wednesday. Christ almighty, man. Listen, I don't know how the team are doing this week. I think they've gone under the radar, which is good. The training sessions hopefully have gone well, and everyone is fully fit for Sundays, and the hunt for tickets will begin.
Has your phone been busy, Hector?
Huh?
Has your phone been busy for tickets?
No, I'm not too bad. I have a few contacts I talk to. Like when listen, I just text a few people to see. The boys trying to get to the hill is the big thing. Like having a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old, there's only one place these boys want to be, is up on the hill. And when they played the N17 in the semi-final, that was a brilliant moment. The Saw Doctor straight after it. I was talking to the man that's in charge of all the music in Croke Park, and he's living in Galway, and he's in charge of all the entertainment that happens on the pitch, and I know him really, really well. So I said to him, "Have you better have the right tunes just in case if Galway win. Better have 3 or 4 classics lined up for Croke Park, because it's that moment, isn't it? It's that moment after it, the speeches, and then back down onto the pitch, and then as they head towards the hill." But when you heard the N17 in the semi-final or the Saw Doctors, it was majestic.
It's just great excitement when you're talking about this now that Stan could be coming home. I think particularly for my younger generation, because we've had some hard days in Croke Park. Like,
Listen, I have a load of Mayo. Most of my mates are Mayo men. I have so many good friends from Ballinrobe, you wouldn't believe it. One of my favourite pubs in the world is Johnno's, which is beside Supermax in Ballinrobe. It looks like a house, but it's a pub. So I know Ballinrobe well, I know Swinford well, and I know Kilchamaugh well, and I know all around the Neil. So I know from these lads over the years that a couple of them had to give up going to All-Ireland finals because of the heartbreak going home, because they weren't getting home till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, how many times can you drive out of Dublin hungry, broken, defeated, destroyed, and knowing that you have another 3 hour drive, and the only thing that'll going to help you is a burger on the way home? And then one of the lads in particular, a guy called Micheál Durkin, said to me, I can't fucking do it anymore. He said, I can't take the heartbreak. It's not that. It's knowing that the Dubs are already having a pint a half an hour after the match, and there's us stuck in traffic for the next fucking 5 hours. I'm not doing it anymore. He said, I'm not doing it anymore, because he had won 5 or 6 All-Ireland finals. So listen, I drove back after the All-Ireland hurling final a couple of years ago when we won the hurling, and it was like when you got back to Ballinasloe on the motorway, it was like Game of Thrones. It was like something out of House of Dragons. There were fucking bonfires all across the bridges, and it was just, as you shot underneath them, everybody trying to get home. It's just, it's an amazing thing. And getting to the toll bridge when you win in All-Ireland, the amount of crack at the toll bridge, because cars are backing back up and there's flags. I saw a Costello bus from out here in Corofin, and there was a load of lads in there with cans, and I stopped beside him when we were like this. It's like, it's those little moments. It's those little moments of getting home after winning All-Ireland is the greatest journey on any of these motorways, because motorways in Ireland are the most boring fucking shit. Like, there's nothing to see on the motorway between Dublin. They've made it that way. There's nothing to see anymore. We don't see the villages of Kinnegad and Tyrrell's Pass and Rochford Bridge and Kilbeggan. So now it's just one big thing, and stop at Yabble Green and stop here and get home. But the journey home, if you win in All-Ireland, is just, it just goes like that. It's like a spaceship. It's like this could be a spaceship heading back in to Maroon and White world.
oh, this is just magical now when you think of it. But that is all we do have time for on today's podcast. Hector, thanks a million for coming on.
They said, Galway Babu, Canary listener lads, Aaron hEochagáin, and I swear to God, man, it could be one of the great years in GAA if Clare and Galway take the titles home to the west of Ireland. It'll be just unbelievable for both counties, for neighbouring counties. And let's hope that those 15 men and those 17 or 22 or 24 men in Portjoyce can lead them to victory. It's I don't want to listen. It's just, it's the stuff dreams are made of. I know the voices will be gone. There'll be people that'll be hoarse and they'll be fucking. I just love the idea of people say that I'm sick. I'm not going to work tomorrow. I'm not going to work Tuesday. I'm not going to work Wednesday. I'm going racing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's just it's hopefully what can be. So Galway Babu, let's do it on Sunday, and let's bring Sam Maguire back over the Shannon, back into the rain. Who will give a shit about the fucking rain? If it's raining, nobody will care. There'll be fires in the pubs. There'll be fires outside the pubs, and Sam Maguire will be back in the west of Ireland.